All right, Dr. Breck, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you, Clay?
Doing great.
Good.
You're a chiropractor.
I am.
You have questions? America's #1 business coach has answers. It's your Broda from Minnesota. Here's another edition of Ask Clay Anything on the Thrivetime Business Coach Radio Show.
Welcome back to another special edition of Ask Me Anything here on the Thrivetime Show on your radio and podcast download. On today's show, we're answering the question that has been emailed a lot lately. People say, hey, I have heard from a friend of mine that you helped their company grow. I've seen a testimonial online about how you've helped a company grow. I've heard on social media how you've helped a company grow. I know your program is month to month. I know there's no contract. I get it, but I would like to know, what actually do you do for your clients? What do you guys actually do? How do you actually help them have wins or successes? Or what kind of things do you do? What kind of strategic help? What kind of accountability? What kind of deliverables? What kind of back-end support? What do you do to help your clients? And so I thought what we would do is invite one of my friends and one of our clients, Dr. Breck, onto the show. It's DRBRECK.com if you want to look him up here. DRBRECK.com, Dr. Breck. And Dr. Breck Kasbaum is a chiropractor who has had major success in the past year. And the guy has been in business for over 15 years, but he's been able to double his business in just the past 12 months. So how did he do it? What did we do to help him? All of these things will be answered on today's show as I interview Dr. Breck about his experience with actual one-on-one business coaching and how we've been able to help him double the size of his business in just the past 12 months. Now, Dr. Breck, talk to me about... since you've worked with Tim the last, about year and a half, 2 years?
About a year. Just over a year now.
What kind of changes have you made, and how has it impacted your overall profitability or growth?
Well, I'm happy to report that, December of 2018, we had our highest grossing month. So I'm super excited about that.
Ever?
Whoa,
yeah. That deserves, you know what? That deserves...
Wins of the Week!
That's a win of the week. Dr. Breck celebrating a sales record here. A new year. A new you. How is it possible? He's a diligent doer. So what kind of practical changes have you made?
Oh, man. Well, we had to look at our price structure. So, we have to be honest with the value and what it costs to deliver services. And we can't continue to give away services, for free or losing money on them. And so that was one of the big steps. We also had to get rid of toxic employees or even contractors. In our case, the massage therapists are self-employed contractors.
Little warning about therapists, by the way. The only difference between the rapist and a therapist is a space.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Okay, back to you.
That reminds me of Sean Connery on
right.
Saturday Night Live.
Right. Now, okay, so other changes you've made this year. What other changes you made? You fixed the pricing.
I was non-existent on our SEO. I literally is non-existent.
Not findable.
You may have found me if you put my name in exactly spelled correctly. You might have found me on like 20 pages back.
Got it. But now you got all the content, all the tags, all the Google reviews.
Yeah. That all started from scratch, and we now have 257 reviews, and we're climbing the Google search engine each day. So.
I was doing a search for you. Was it yesterday? And I think you were over 250. Let me pull it up real quick. 257. You're right. 257 Google reviews. And so, are you having people that are finding you online now?
Yes. And that's a nice new thing. People come in and are like, "Hey, I saw your reviews."
Are you up? Are you up 10% more than last year? 20%? What percentage are you up now?
We're up. So it fluctuates a little bit, but literally from like a year and a half ago to now, we're up double.
Double.
Yeah.
Now, have you changed or improved your sales scripting or your sales processes at all?
We have. Yeah. We very intensely went over a lot of scripting and things. But then also we do have a no-brainer offer.
Yeah.
And so the conversion aspect of that to go from, hey, this is all free to, I do expect you to pay me at some point. getting a better conversion script for me to work from has also been very helpful.
And then you, from an HR perspective, hiring people, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but most clients we've worked with, most doctors we work with before, business owners, before they come into our program, have a hard time finding good people. And then after they're in the program, that's usually not a problem anymore.
Right.
Is that the case with you? Are you doing good on finding people, or how have you changed your recruitment process?
Yeah, so just before starting working with Tim, we had some change up and some, some people left on their own accord, and they were about to have that conversation anyway, so it worked out. Nice timing. So we've brought on some great people in the last year, and now we're operating from a totally different way of thinking about that, with not being held captive and a hostage in my own office.
And how do you feel now? I mean, do you and your wife, does it feel better? Do you have more pride about the business now that you're more profitable? Do
Absolutely.
You feel? I mean, on a daily
basis, I see the difference in her eyes too.
Really?
Yeah. I've been a doctor for the last 15 years, but to be a successful doctor's kind of a little better.
Right.
And so I needed the action, like tangible action steps, like give me a task to do today that I can put my hands to work on doing that. But I mean, I had to borrow money from family members. Thank you, Dad.
Big shout out to your dad.
Thank you. I owe you. I mean, it was tough on my wife. She's a school teacher, and we were living paycheck to paycheck every month, trying to rob Peter to pay Paul.
Got it.
And not fun at all.
And you're a doctor. You're a chiropractor.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Your business does not have to be embarrassing, and you don't have to feel stuck. But you do have to take action if you want to get unstuck. Thomas Edison has said, and I quote it so many times on the show, vision without execution is hallucination. So if you feel stuck, you feel overwhelmed, you don't know what to do, just reach out to us today. Go to thrivetimeshow.com and schedule a 13-point one-on-one assessment with yours truly, and we can see if we can help you. Again, my name's Clay Clark. I'm a business coach. Big shout out to Dr. Breck. And as always, we like to end each and every show with a boom. 3, 2, 1, boom!
Hey, it's Dr. J here, HealthWorks Chiropractic, and just wanted to do a video review while I'm driving out to my second office, and on the Thrive team, on Jason, on Clay. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate what they've done for us, for me personally, us as a team, as an organization. They just know what the hell to do, and if you don't, these are the people to get to. They're going to teach you how to run an organization, how to market, how to run a business efficiently so you don't have to be there all the time. And I can't speak highly enough of them. And if you're struggling with business and you need someone to, either get you over the hump, get you out of the red, get you where you want to go from a standpoint of personal freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, I cannot stress enough how good they are at what they do. So, Clay, thanks. Jason, thanks. You guys are the bomb. The whole team. Jonathan, appreciate you guys. You guys have made a huge impact in my life and my ability to do business. And I just want to say thanks. And anyone else out there who is struggling and needs someone to help them, these are your people. I promise you. All right. Thanks. Hey, this is Dr. Jay Schroeder from HealthWorks Chiropractic here in Franklin, just outside of Nashville. And just wanted to record kind of my experience with Thrive over the last 16 months. I think it's been almost 18 months with these guys. They have really helped me turn my clinics around. I came to Thrive in February of 17, and we had a successful practice, but it was very much insurance based, and we had a huge industry change in the end of 2016 that just totally devastated us in the way we did business and treated patients and our business model. So I knew I had to make a change to survive, and with having 2 clinics, I liken it to having a big ship in the sea. It doesn't just happen quickly. So Signed up with Clay and Thrive, and Eric Chubb was my coach, and we've gone through a ton. And I can say 16 months later, I don't know where we've been without these guys, but I know where we're at now. And we haven't met all of our goals yet, but I know that I've achieved some things such as time freedom. I'm only seeing patients now 2 days a week. We've got systems in place that make the practices no longer reliant on me being there for them to be successful. That was a huge goal of mine when I first talked to them. We're working towards our financial goals. We'll be there probably within 6 months. And my stress level has gone down. I'll be going on vacation next week, not worrying a bit about what's happening with my 2 practices, because I know the systems that we put in place is going to make them run as if I was there. So I don't know what else to say, but thank you guys. I look forward to my weekly coaching calls, and it's always something that I get out of those that I can plug in or talk to an employee. And it's just the 2%. They talk about 2% all the time. You got to improve by 2%. You can't do it all at once. But that 2% over the last 16 to 18 months has made a huge difference for my life, my family, our practices, and again, just the stress level that we were at compared to now has been life-changing. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate all you do, and look forward to the next 16 to 18 months and beyond.
All right, Dr. Breck, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you, Clay?
Doing great. You're a chiropractor.
I am. Dr. Brett Kasbaum, and I was looking to learn more about business, scaling, selling, closing, potentially franchising, growing that business, and actually working on it and not as much in it. If you're just considering being a part of one of these coaching teams, this is a great place to start. You'll get that 10,000-foot view, and then you can work individually with a team of coaches to really hone it in and give you those action steps to move forward. So definitely, if you're on the fence, come, be a part of it. Welcome to Tulsa on behalf of me.
I thought what we would do is invite one of my friends and one of our clients, Dr. Breck, onto the show. It's DRBRECK.com if you want to look him up here. DRBRECK.com, Dr. Breck. And Dr. Breck Kasbaum is a chiropractor who has had major success in the past year. And the guy has been in business for over 15 years, but he's been able to double his business in just the past 12 months. So how did he do it? What did we do to help him? All of these things will be answered on today's show as I interview Dr. Breck about his experience with actual one-on-one business coaching and how we've been able to help him double the size of his business in just the past 12 months. Now, Dr. Breck, talk to me about what kind of changes have you made and how has it impacted your overall profitability or growth?
Well, I'm happy to report that, December of 2018, we had our highest grossing month. So I'm super excited about that.
Ever.
Whoa,
yeah. That deserves. You know what? That deserves.
Wins of the week.
That's a win of the week. Dr. Breck celebrating a sales record here. A new year. A new you. How is it possible? He's a diligent doer. So what kind of practical changes have you made?
Oh, man. Well, we had to look at our price structure. So, we have to be honest with the value and what it costs to deliver services. And we can't continue to give away services, for free or losing money on them. And so that was one of the big steps. We also had to get rid of toxic employees or even contractors. In our case, the massage therapists, our self-employed contractors. But
little warning about therapists, by the way. The only difference between the rapist and a therapist is a space.
Yeah.
Just think about it. Okay, back to you.
That reminds me of Sean Connery on
right.
Saturday Night Live.
Right. Now, okay, so other changes you've made this year. What other changes you made? You fixed the pricing.
I was non-existent on our SEO. I mean, I literally is non-existent.
Not findable.
I mean, you may have found me if you put my name in exactly spelled correctly. You might have found me on like 20 pages back.
Got it. But now you got all the content, all the tags, all the Google reviews.
Yeah, so that all started from scratch, and we now have like 257 reviews, and we're climbing the Google search engine each day. So.
I was doing a search for you. Was it yesterday? And I think you were over 250. Let me pull it up real quick. 250 257. You're right. 257 Google reviews. And so, are you having people that are finding you online now?
Yes. And that's a nice new thing. You know, people come in and are like, hey, I saw your reviews.
Are you up? Are you up 10% more than last year? 20%? What percentage are you up now?
We're up. So it fluctuates a little bit, but I mean, literally from like a year and a half ago to now, we're up double.
Double.
Yeah.
Now, have you changed or improved your sales scripting or your sales processes at all?
We have. Yeah. We very intensely went over a lot of scripting and things. But then also we do have a no-brainer offer. Yeah. And so the conversion aspect of that, to go from, hey, this is all free, to I do expect you to pay me at some point, getting a better conversion script for me to work from, has also been very helpful.
And then you, from an HR perspective, hiring people, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but most clients we've worked with, most doctors we work with before, business owners, before they come into our program, have a hard time finding good people. Mm-hmm. And then after they're in the program, that's usually not a problem anymore.
Right.
Is that the case with you? Are you doing good on finding people, or how have you changed your recruitment process?
Yeah, so just before we had some change up and some, some people left on their own accord, and they were about to have that conversation anyway, so it worked out. Nice timing. So we've brought on some great people in the last year, and now we're operating from a totally different way of thinking about that, with not being held captive and a hostage in my own office.
And how do you feel now? I mean, do you and your wife, does it feel better? Do you have more pride about the business now that you're more profitable? Do
Absolutely.
You feel? I mean, on a daily basis,
I see the difference in her eyes too.
Really?
Yeah. I've been a doctor for the last 15 years, but to be a successful doctor is kind of a little better.
Right.
And so I needed the action, like tangible action steps, like give me a task to do today that I can put my hands to work on doing that. But I mean, I had to borrow money from family members. Thank you, Dad.
Big shout out to your dad.
Thank you. I owe you. It was tough on my wife. She's a school teacher, and we were living paycheck to paycheck every month, trying to rob Peter to pay Paul.
Got it.
And not fun at all.
And you're a doctor. You're a chiropractor.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Your business does not have to be embarrassing, and you don't have to feel stuck. But you do have to take action if you want to get unstuck. Thomas Edison has said, and I quote it so many times on the show, vision without execution is hallucination. So if you feel stuck, you feel overwhelmed, you don't know what to do, just reach out to us today. Go to thrivetimeshow.com and schedule a 13-point one-on-one assessment with yours truly, and we can see if we can help you. Again, my name's Clay Clark. I'm a business coach. Big shout out to Dr. Breck. And as always, we like to end each and every show with a boom. 3, 2, 1, boom!
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. One month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985. I established my practice here in Tulsa in 1985.
My name is Dr. Scotty Ray Lawrence. I am the owner and director of the Spa Health Source in Tulsa. I got involved in the spa industry because back in 2001, I started my first fitness and weight loss franchise, and I quickly discovered the struggles that men and women were facing when they were dealing with weight loss, dieting, exercise, and there was just not a lot of answers for them. And then I discovered a really great non-invasive procedure that would help with their cosmetic needs and to spot target areas that they can't get to by diet and exercise alone. And I brought that into my clinic, and it's been a game changer. I'm most passionate about results. I want my patients to get results. I'm a goal-oriented, I'm a driven individual, and I want the best for my patients, and I want them to get what they desire, what they've invested in, and what they want. And if they don't, I'm gonna make it right. When I see before and after photo and I see the transformation, tears well up inside of me. There are so many times that I look at their before and afters and I see the dramatic change. And when I do, there is such pride. I personally check on each and every patient and how their treatment went. And we celebrate with my team. We talk about each patient. We look at each one and see what we did, how we did it, what can we do better next time. And when I look at that patient and I see how happy they are and it changes their life, it just gives me such pride, and I know that I'm doing the right thing and I'm making a difference in their lives. And of course, that's what it's all about. So when I see a person and they experience a change in their body, there is a deep amount of satisfaction and pride that I feel. But more importantly, I look at them and I see, oh my gosh, their life is changing. They feel so much better about themselves, because when a person doesn't feel great about themselves, their whole life is different. And if I can make a difference in them, and if I can change a little bit to help their body image, it improves their self-esteem, and ultimately, that is how I want to do and how I want to help more people. What they can expect to get an honest opinion, because if they are investing in their health, investing in a procedure, then they're going to want to know that what they're doing is actually going to work. And if it's not, we're going to tell them that. If they're not a candidate, then we're going to let them know, because we want results for them. We want them happy. We want them to refer patients. And if we don't give them quality care and we don't give them what they deserve, then we're just defeating our purpose and theirs. What makes us different is that we provide non-invasive, pain-free, effective procedures that spot target areas in the body that you can't get to by just diet or exercise. And also, we're a part of a national franchise that delivers the cutting edge of health and wellness, and we're over 400 clinics strong. So you can be confident that when you come to Health Source and to the spa of Health Source, that you're getting quality care with competent doctors and providers.
Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy. I'm originally from Tulsa, born and raised here. I went to a small private liberal arts college and got a degree in business. And I didn't learn anything like they're teaching here. I didn't learn linear workflows. I learned stuff that I'm not using, and I haven't been using for the last 9 years. So what they're teaching here is actually way better than what I got at business school. And I went what was actually ranked as a very good business school. The linear workflow for us and getting everything out on paper and documented is really important. Like we have workflows that are kind of all over the place, so having linear workflow and seeing that mapped out on multiple different boards is pretty awesome. That's really helpful for me. The atmosphere here is awesome. I definitely just stared at the walls figuring out how to make my facility look like this place. This place rocks. It's invigorating. The walls are super, it's just very cool. The atmosphere is cool. The people are nice. It's a pretty cool place to be. Very good learning atmosphere. I literally want to model it and steal everything that's here at this facility and basically create it just on our business side.
All right, Thrive Nation, on today's show, if you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're a lawyer, you're a mechanic, you're a home builder, you're a home remodeler, you're a carpet cleaner, you're a dog trainer, you're a dog trainer, you're a dog trainer, you're a business consultant and you don't know how to do business consulting. If you're anybody on the planet and you want to increase your financial and time freedom, this is a show for you. We're interviewing today a client who's we've had the opportunity to work with this year, and I just am super excited to see the growth and the systemization occurring there. And again, if you want to verify that this person is not just a male model, we did not just bring him in because he's a beautiful man. No. This man actually owns his own business. It's called officialsynapse.com. That's the website, officialsynapse.com. You can verify he's a real person. And with that being said, Dr. Troy Spurl, welcome to the Thrivetime Show. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Thank you, Clay.
Okay, here's the deep dive interrogation. How did you first hear about us? How did that happen?
Well, It was on another podcast. I actually was, I'm a big Kim Clement guy. And so I actually was watching a podcast and they talked about this Mr. Clark. And then that's how I found you. And I reached out and the rest is history. It was a good fit. It was what I was looking for. So they called you a very influential man, and I can basically validate that you're very much a connector, and so it was a good prophecy, I'll say that.
It's so crazy. This is the first time anyone's ever heard about my business consulting through a prophecy. So thank
Yep.
you, Kim Clement. Okay. So now, what we do and what Devin does to my right, she's a consultant and her job is to help wonderful clients like you to implement a proven system and to help you grow. And so I think what a lot of people do is they'll go to thrivetimeshow.com. They'll look on the testimonials button. I know this because I talk to people every day that do it. And they go to thrivetimeshow.com. They click on the testimonials and they look at the growth of a company like Tip Top Canine, and they go, wow, you guys helped them to double their income. You helped them grow from 1 location to 10 locations in a very small period of time. It almost seems unbelievable. They see something like Tim Redmond saying he went from like 2 clients to somewhere between 5 and 20 clients, from 5 and 20 clients up to where he's got hundreds of clients. And they go, it's just, I don't know if it's possible. They see Ginny here and her husband Mike with their cute baby having 8 times growth. They're seeing the Colaws having 3 times growth. They're seeing Papa Gallo's having 8x growth. So I want to get into the nitty gritty of what we're doing to help you grow your business. So first off, step 1, with every client, we have to know your goals. I'm not asking you to share your goals publicly, but could you maybe share why that's important for you and for every entrepreneur listening to know your goals?
Well, you have to have something to shoot for, and it allows you to get an actionable plan together, and then each week what you need to do. And I'll share a couple of my goals. I mean, my big thing was that I was working a lot in my business, not having any time to work on my business, and so that's been one of the biggest shifts. I'm not even a year. We're just barely a year in working with you, and I've gone from seeing patients personally 5 days a week to only 2 days a week. I'm actually here on my temporary second place right now. I'm working remotely. I could never do that before. And so I'm working on my business more, which is very, very helpful when it comes to just improving, hitting some of the other financial goals. So it's not all financial goals for me. I did want to pay off some debt from equipment and other things like that, and we've hit a lot of those goals just in year 1. We're a little bit ahead of what I expected, actually.
So step 1, folks, I know it helps to see a linear workflow. Devin, are you a visual person, or do you prefer just to keep things in a kind of a written form in your mind somewhere?
Oh, I'm a visual person. I need it written down on a piece of paper for me to look at.
So the workflow to me is a lot of times, consultants like yourself who work here, or clients, they say just seeing the workflow helps me a lot. So box 1, you got to establish your revenue goals. Homework for everybody out there. You have to know your yearly revenue goals. All right. Then you have to know what are your total weekly gross revenue goals. What are your goals for the week? If you have a goal for the year, what are your goals for the week? I'll give you an example of kind of a fun story. Longtime client of mine, he came to one of our workshops. He walks up to me, true story. He says, I figured it out. I said, you figured it out? This is on like session 2 of day 1 of our workshop. He says, I figured it out. I said, what'd you figure out? He says, I'm going to do it. I said, what are you going to do? He says, I'm going to lose the weight. We're not at a weight loss conference. I go, what? Not kidding. Saw the guy about 3 years later he's been a client the whole time, but most of our clients are not in Tulsa. So I hadn't seen the guy in 3 years. He's down like 90 pounds. And I said, how'd you do it? He said, I figured out my yearly goal. And I figured out my daily goal. So I made a to-do list of what I'm going to eat every day. And I just put it on there. And it was basically grilled chicken, broccoli for lunch. That's it every day. Grilled chicken, broccoli, lunch. And he said, I did that every single day since the conference, and I've lost almost 100 pounds. And I'm like, get out of here. So no matter what you're doing, you got to have those goals. The second thing you have to do in business is you have to know your break-even numbers. Now, Devin, you went to college.
Yes.
And, you studied a variety of things in college. When at college with the business classes, did they ever talk about the break-even point?
No.
Mind-boggling. And it's because typically a bureaucrat in a college, they don't have to break even. If they ever go over the budget, they just raise taxes or find some way to increase fees. And the students aren't actually paying for college. They're using loans that are provided by the federal government. So nobody's actually looking at a budget. But in a business, you have to know your break-even point. And again, Dr. Sperl, I'm not trying to ask you personal questions about your break-even numbers, but do you know in your mind how many patients, I guess it's rhetorical, do you know how many patients you need to break even?
Absolutely. We have the numbers established, and it's not just myself. So now we have a full clinic. So I know how much each individual doctor needs to have, each practitioner, and then the clinic as a whole, how much they need to be seeing, and then just the minimal amount of services. So we track all of that, the exact services and number of services that have to happen as well.
Now we can move on to the next box, defining how many hours per week you're willing to work. Now this is hilarious. Did you meet Austin yesterday?
I did.
Okay, so Austin was a guy who used to work in the same building as me. He and his wonderful wife and their 5 kids, they decided to basically move into the mountains and take a year to recalibrate and really figure out what God had in store for them. So they actually, as a family, which I think is incredible, they actually did it. A lot of people talk about it. They actually did it. Yeah. They moved to the mountains, really studied the Bible as a couple, really recalibrated. And he came back. He wants to come rejoin the team. And I have no problem with it. He left on good terms. And he and I share the same religious views. He and I both believe that the Bible is very clear. We should be resting on the 7th and working 6 days, rest on the 7th. You can find that in both Exodus and Genesis. God laid out that pattern, work 6 days, rest on the 7th. And he believes that the Sabbath is Saturday. So he never works on Saturday. And I remember that about him. But he goes, hey, I want to work 6 days a week. I don't want to work 4 or 5. But I want to work 6, but I do take off Saturday. I don't know if you remember that. And I said, I do remember that. So for him, he was very clear. I want to work 6 days, but I don't want to work on Saturday because that was his particular, how he views the Sabbath based upon his interpretation of the Bible. We'd love to get your thoughts on that. I think a lot of business owners say, I'm going to do whatever it takes. And then they're not.
Yeah.
It's like, so we got one guy right now, one of my longtime clients and friends. He's at trade shows. He's doing, I think, 6 weekends in a row doing trade shows. And he also works 5 days a week, because he has a goal in his mind of how many customers he wants to get, and he wants to get those customers before April. So he's literally willing to work 7 days a week and go to these trade shows. But I think a lot of people say, I'll do whatever it takes. They're quoting Imagine Dragons, and then they're not. So I'd love to get your reaction to that.
No, that's that was like a mindset shift that had to occur too. And it is funny how mental that is. And a lot of times you get into business and you think you're doing it to retire. And when you kind of get rid of the word retire and you just kind of you work and it's something you're passionate about, it actually doesn't even feel like work. And so yeah, I'm on board with that. And I one other thing, I started getting up earlier because I've gone to your 2 days. I haven't missed a 2 days since I've started with you. So I come down for all the 2 days because I hear something new each and every time, and a lot of it had to do with the schedule too. So getting up earlier, and I'm not quite as insane as you as far as how early you get up and what you do, but I'm pretty close. I'm getting there.
Well,
and so that was a big shift. It was a mental shift, and things, just efficiencies started improving. Like just everything started to get better, and that's how I got freed up. Was by basically working more days and getting more organized, becoming more efficient. And then our capacity we're just primed to just explode right now. And our capacity is because of the extra work hours.
Have you listened to my interview with Rabbi Daniel Lapin? Have you heard that one?
I haven't.
Oh, bro, I'm going to put it on part 2 of today's show. This interview is sick. And the only part you won't like about it, folks, is what I say. But this guy, he's a rabbi, and how our conversation started was I had a lot of friends of mine who were wealthy Jewish people. And I kept asking my Jewish friends, I'm going, why are you guys so rich? What's going on? What's the move? I was 25 years old. And a friend of mine, he says, wealthy guy, he's in his 50s. He says to me, well, if we're in a foot race, we're running 15% more than you. I said, what do you mean? He said, we all work 6 days a week. And I said, oh, what? And he said, also the word work in Hebrew means worship. So worship means work and work means worship. So we don't work for the customers. We don't work for the profit. We work as though we worship. So like that is our form of worship. You might do praise and worship. We view work as worship. Also, the word vocation means calling, and the word vacation means to retreat from. So we actually view retirement as an abomination. I said, an abomination you do, huh? And he said, we view retirement as an abomination. Like in the same way you might view fornicating, we view retirement. We actually view the idea of retiring as a sin. And I'm going, get out of here. So it helped me a lot to understand that mindset of working as unto the Lord. Just powerful. I'll put it on part 2 of today's show. I promise, folks, it's going to blow your minds. So we go back here to this system here. Now, box number 4. Devin, you work with a lot of great clients. A lot of clients don't know their unique value proposition. And so we always tell people, you got to figure out your top 3 competitors. You got to mystery shop your top competitors. But at officialsynapse.com, Dr. Spurl, he already knows his unique value proposition and already knew that before he met us. How rare is that, Devin, that the client actually already knows? In his case, it's more of a holistic form of medicine. They treat the cause. They don't try to just push a pill for the ill. They don't try to get people on big pharma. They try to get people off big pharma. How rare is it for somebody to actually have their unique value proposition figured out?
It's very rare. It's probably like 1 in 10.
Yeah, and what I find is a lot of plumbers, doctors, dentists, lawyers, they'll say things like, well, we're the best. Like, okay, so you're the best tile guy. Okay. So that would imply the other guy's the worst, right? Like, well, absolutely. And that's the kind of the mindset. So we'll work with you on that, folks, if you feel stuck. The branding, again, you're a unique guy because you already had a lot of your branding nailed down before we met you. With most of our clients, like when we've worked with Tip Top Canine, we had to completely renovate everything. I mean, we had to do the logo, the auto wrap, the print pieces, the unique value proposition, the offer of the $1 first lesson, the polos, the one sheets. I mean, we had to renovate the entire system, which was incredible. When you think about another client like Redmond Growth, when I met with Tim, this is an interesting thing because you're in Minnesota, we couldn't do this, but for Tim, we gave him free office space. He officed in our building for free. He was a business consultant, but didn't have a unique value proposition. So we actually had to teach him how to consult, how to grow companies. We had to provide the unique value proposition. We made his logo. We made his website. We did all of his print pieces. I mean, we went through a massive laundry list. Very unique, though, that someone already has their branding nailed down. Devin, how unique is it that a client, because you work with a lot of clients, that the client already has the branding nailed down?
It's very unique. And it's great because when Troy and I first started, we were like, right from the go, like getting the systems, working on that. Yeah. So it was like 100 miles per hour, like from the first call. So it's great.
Now, the 3-legged marketing stool, this is the 3 moves that you need to use to acquire customers. Now, for every client we work with, there's a different 3-legged marketing stool. As an example, we'll go back to Redmond Growth. Redmond Growth in America today, if you want to get depressed, folks, go to usdebtclock.org. It's a great way to get depressed. Go to usdebtclock.org. We have 9 million self-employed people in America, when there's 330 million Americans that we know of. So you have 3% of the American population is self-employed. 3% of the American population is self-employed. And according to Inc. magazine, 96% of businesses will fail in the first 10 years. So you have, again, 3% of the population is self-employed, but only 4% of that 3% actually build a successful company ever. So it's a very rare thing that people are successful by default. So when we worked with Tim Redmond, I had to help Tim. I said, Tim, we got to contact business owners and we need to cold call them. So I helped him get a list from a company called Data Axle and others. You pull a list of the contractors, doctors, dentists, lawyers. You got to call them. Then once you call them, I had to help Tim write a script of what to say. So the cold calling was 1/3 of the business. The next third of the business was he could invite his clients to one of my in-person workshops. So if I had people that came to my workshop and we were booked out, I could refer people to Tim. So we had the workshops going on. We had the calls. And then I helped Tim learn how to turn his speaking events. He speaks publicly into leads. And so that was his 3-legged marketing stool. For your business, you have a 3-legged marketing stool as well. We got to get Google reviews. We got to get Google reviews. We got to get those Google reviews from happy customers. Yeah. Second is we got to make sure you're getting on podcasts where people can hear your voice. Very important that we do that. And there's other things we do too. But third, it's the internal marketing, making sure that your customers and patients know about the services you offer. How can you talk about the mind freedom that gives you as a business owner, as a doctor, knowing that you have 3 primary marketing systems that you need to, 3 figurative spinning plates that you need to keep going and not 53?
This actually is what probably, other than the entirety of seeing the layout and knowing that you've figured it out, I just have to do the work. So this area with the marketing, this was a big deal for us because we kind of had all of our eggs in one basket, if you will. So if something happened with that basket, then we're stuck. Whereas now we have complete peace of mind because we have different funnels and different people are coming in from different areas. We're able to impact people from all over the country, and we have multiple different systems in place: the podcast, the internal marketing, and a lot of the, like, we never got Google people from Google, and now we're getting consistently weekly people from Google. So a lot of what you talk about when it comes to the marketing stuff, that was actually foreign to me. So we were pretty set up with branding and other stuff like that, but that was boy, I was learning on the fly there, and boy, has it ever impacted us, because our numbers are significantly changed just in less than a year when it comes to just where our patients are coming from and our clientele, and that's, for me, that's like one of the biggest I'm just happy because there is peace of mind about and not worry about where are we going to get our next client or customer. We've got multiple funnels. It's great.
And I'm taking notes as you're talking, so I'm making sure I'm not misquoting you. But I think you just said, we never got leads from Google. Now we are getting a ton of leads from Google. I think that's encouraging for somebody out there who doesn't know how to generate leads, if you're in the medical field or doctor, dentist, lawyer. And then I think you'd also said that we were barely with you a year. And how would you describe the transformation over that year?
So this, in 1 month, it'll be a year. So we're basically 11 months. And so the transformation has been, I have the clinic itself really depended on me. Like if I got sick and I went down, we probably lose 50% to 60% of our revenue. And that's not good, because that means the business was about me. Right now, if I went down, the practice would probably improve. And so because we've got a team of doctors, we've got systems in place, and so we've got a lot of processes, and they understand it now. We're working on scripts and all those things because we keep identifying areas that we can improve on. And so now they get it. They understand the process and the flow. They're just getting to the point of doing it. And even with that, just having a great team, but also having people waiting in the wings to step up because now they want to be a part of this team. So we've got just a great system.
I just want to be very clear. Again, I'm repeating this because I think somebody needs to hear this. You've barely been a client for a year. You saying we never got leads from Google. Now we're getting tons of leads from Google. The clinic used to depend on you, and now we have a team of doctors and systems in place. I just encourage everybody out there. Yeah. You can do it. Don't be stuck. Okay, now back to box 7. Sales scripts, recorded calls, one sheets, print emails, lead trackers. Box 8, we got to figure out your sustainable customer acquisition costs. We got to figure out what does it cost to get a new customer. 9, you got to create these core repeatable actionable processes. I call it crap. Core repeatable actionable processes. These repeatable actionable processes. I don't want to deal with all the detail crap. I'm more of a vision guy. No, you're a broke guy if you don't have systems in place. Well, I don't like to focus on the crap. I focus on the main idea. No. You got to master the crap, the core repeatable actionable processes. You got to chop wood, master the art of chopping wood, hauling water, get good at the basics. Box 10, managing people. I want my people to work remotely and manage themselves. No, people cannot work remotely and manage themselves. Even huge companies like X, which I'm not a big fan of Elon Musk, but you got X. I'm not a big fan of Elon Musk because he's the one who created the mRNA technology in CureVac, which is putting all the shots. Not a big fan of that. But even people like Elon Musk have found that when they lay off huge amounts of people that work from home, it doesn't impact the company at all because they didn't do anything. You're seeing Bank of America now is threatening employees with, you have to come to work. We're not going to work here anymore. Well, yeah, because the people that work from home do nothing. Why? Because people are wearing sweatpants till 2 p.m. Okay, 11, you got to create a sustainable and repetitive weekly schedule. 12, you got to create a human resources and recruitment system. 13, you got to nail down your accounting. You got to automate the earning of millions. You can't just make a lot. You got to keep a lot. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And Devin, you get a chance to work with Dr. Spurl every week. How would you describe what it's been like to work with this man?
He's great. He's always, answers every call, and the tracking sheet's always filled out. He does a great job, and I'm super glad that we work together.
So I got to ask you this here. Final thought here. For anybody out there, Dr. Spurl, if they go to thrivetimeshow.com, we say it all the time. I've been saying it for years. We always do a free 13-point assessment. We do a business workshop every 2 months. What would you say to anybody out there that is watching right now, who's thinking about becoming a client, who's pondering the idea, what say you, sir?
Just do it and be all in. If you're going to do it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to listen and apply the knowledge. And so it's all right there. And it's kind of like the Bible. I read the Bible as well. And when I read the Bible, I'll learn something new every time. There's always a gem. Every 2-day I've gone to, and I can't remember how many you've had since maybe 4 or 5, but every 2-day, there's something new I hear from you or from one of your clients about stuff that they struggled with. And then here's a solution. So it's just, it's just a good decision to get organized and improve just how your business is operating. But when you're walking with people who are like-minded and focused, and you just perform better. So many businesses I know are struggling, and people are struggling to get it right. I just encourage people to take the leap and then just be all in. Just be all in.
Now, right now, I have a documentation here. I believe that you are up 114% growth in leads. The lead flow is up 114%. Is that accurate or is that hyperbole?
That is accurate and exciting.
That's incredible stuff. So my closing thoughts would be this. A, folks, to my right is Devin. If you decide to work with our consulting program, because I don't work with 7 clients, I work with 160 clients. The only way to do that without cloning myself, which I don't think is ethical, but Elon Musk is into that sort of technology. So back to Elon Musk. But no, seriously, if you want to work with our team, you'll be working with happy people like Devin, and her job is to guide you down the proven path. And then my job is to create that path. And so it all starts with a 13-point assessment, a brief assessment of where you are versus where you want to be, kind of a look in the mirror, kind of a checkup from the neck up, to look at your business, look at your plan, look where you're going, and to design a customized plan that will get you from where you are to where you want to be. Dr. Troy Spur, I'll give you the final word, sir.
Yeah, it's been just a pleasure working with Devin and you, Clay. And one of the reasons why, and Devin, I've never shared this with you, but I like working with you because if you help me duplicate my business, I know Clay's doing what he needed to do, right? So what's happening with you at Thrivetime is exactly what I wanted with my business, and it's happening. And so right out of the gates, Devin was just super helpful with making changes on the fly. I'd never been in a meeting where we actually did what we were talking about in the meeting, and it was done before the meeting was done.
Oh, I do that all the time. If anybody,
I know you do.
You got to come at some point to one of our Monday morning meetings and watch me do it, because I will stop the meeting. If someone's like, we need to fix this on the website, I'll say, let's stop and do it now. Or if someone's, hey, I didn't get a chance to upload my video testimonial, but I'll do it after the meeting. I'm like, no, let's just stop the meeting and do it now. So I usually start and stop my meetings about 4 to 5 times per meeting, and it gets it done.
I can't tell you how much of a game changer it is to work with people who do that, though, because it was instant results. And so it's just like, it's gratifying as a business owner, instead of, just doing a checkup, follow-up constantly, week in, week out with this long list. You've got people just doing it right on the spot there. It was awesome to work with.
You are the best. Thank you again, folks. That's officialsynapse.com. That's the website if you're looking for a doctor in all 50 states that actually will treat the cause of the problem and not try to push a pill for every ill. Check out officialsynapse.com. That's officialsynapse.com. Take care, sir. Have a great day.
Thanks. You guys too.
Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Ryan Wimpy.
And I'm Rachel Wimpy, and the name of our business is Tip Top Canine.
Our business is a dog training business. We help people with behavioral issues and teach their dog how to listen. When I was learning to become a dog trainer, we didn't learn anything about internet marketing or advertising or anything at all. Just dog training. And that's what's so great about working with Clay and his team, because they do it all for us.
So that we can focus on our passion, and that's training dogs. Clay and his team here, they're so enthusiastic. Their energy is off the charts. Never a dull moment here at Thrive.
We've been working with Clay and his team for the last 5 months, 2 of which have been our biggest months ever. 1, our biggest gross by 35%. Clay's helped us make anything from brochures to stickers, new business cards, new logos, scripts for phones, script for email, script for text message, scripting for everything.
How I would describe the weekly meetings with Clay and his team are awesome. They're so effective. It's worth every minute. Things get done. We'll ask for things like different flyers, and they're done before our hour is up. So it's just awesome, extremely effective.
If you don't use Clay and his team, you're probably going to be pulling your hair out, or you're going to spend half of your time trying to figure out the online marketing game and producing your own flyers and marketing materials, print materials, all the stuff like that. You're really losing a lot as far as lost productivity and lost time, not having a professional do it. It has a real sense of urgency and that actually knows what they're doing when you already have something that's your core focus that you already know how to do.
You would also be missing out with all the time and financial freedom that you would have working with Clay and his team.
We would recommend Clay and his team to other business owners because they need to be working on their business, not just trying to figure out the online game, which is complex and changing daily. So no one has a marketing team too. Most people don't. They can't afford one, and their local web guy or a local person that they know probably can't do everything that a whole team and a whole floor of people can do in hours and not just weeks or months. There's a definite sense of urgency with Clay and his team. I used to have to ride other web people, really ride them to get stuff done, and stuff is done so fast here. And there's a real sense of urgency to get it done. It's great.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us. This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. As you can see, it's nice, right? So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood.
This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team. We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
The Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet. You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business.
come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.
If we go back 8 years ago, think about the number of clients you had back then versus the number of clients you have now. As a percentage, what has been the growth over the past 8 years, do you think? We got to inspire somebody out there who just doesn't have the time to listen to their calls.
Okay, so Clay, it's like I would go up and down from about $10,000 a month up to about $40,000, but it's up and down roller coaster, and so now we've got it to where we're in excess of 100 clients.
That's awesome.
And so I would have anywhere from 5 clients to 20 clients on my own with networking, but I had no control over it. I didn't. Without the systems, you're going to be victimized by your own business.
For somebody out there who struggles with math, if you, let's say that your average number of clients was 30 and you go to 100, as a percentage, what is that?
I have doubled every year since working with you. So I've doubled in clients, I've doubled in revenue every year. It's 100% growth every year I've worked with. Now, so I'm looking, we've been good friends 7-8 years, and I've got doubled 5 times.
Which is just incredible. I mean, the first time you do it, that's one thing, but when you do it repeatedly, I mean, that's unbelievable.
We're working our Blessed Assurance off this year to double. We're planning on doubling again. We're incorporating some new things in there to really help us do it, but we are going to double again this year. I started coaching, but it would go up and down, Clay. That's when I came to you, as I was going up and down, and I wanted to go up and up instead of up and down. And so that's when it needed a system. So creating a system is you have nailed down specific steps that you're going to take no matter how you feel, no matter the results. You lean into them and you do them regardless of what's happening. You lean into them, and it will give you X number of leads. You follow up with those leads, turns into sales. Well, I tell you, it's if you don't have a script and you don't have a system, then every day is a whole new creation. You're creating a lot of energy just to figure out what are you going to do.
Right.
And the best executives, Peter Drucker is a father of modern management. He said the most effective executives make one decision a year. What you do is you make a decision, what is your system, and then you work like the Dickens to make sure you follow that system. And so that's really what it's all about. So with a script here, we have a brand new gal that just came in working for us. She nailed down the script, and she's been nailing down appointments. Usually we try to get one appointment for every 100 calls. We make 200 to 300 calls a day per rep.
Right.
And she's been nailing down 5 and 8 appointments a day.
Somebody out there's having a hard time.
That script.
So she's making how many calls a day?
She's making between 200 and 300 calls a day.
Whoa. And our relationship is weird in that we do. If someone were to buy an Apple computer today, and or let's say you bought a personal computer, a PC, the computer is made by, let's say, Dell, but then the software in the computer would be Microsoft, let's say, or Adobe or whatever that is. So I basically make the systems. And you're like the computer, and I'm like the software. It's kind of how I would describe our relationship. Yeah. Tim, I want to ask you this. You and I reconnected. I think it was in the year 2000 and what was it? Maybe 2010. Is that right? 2011, maybe, or no, maybe further down the road. Maybe 2013.
2012.
Okay, so 2012, and at that time I was 5 years removed from the DJ business, and you were how many years removed from tax and accounting software?
It was about 10, 11 years.
We met, how did we re-meet? What was the first interaction? There was some interaction where you and I first connected. I just remember that somehow you and I went to Hideaway Pizza. But do you remember when we first reconnected?
Yeah. Well, we had that speaking thing that...
there it was. So it was Victory Christian Center. I was speaking there.
My name is Robert Redmond. I actually first met Clay almost 3 years ago to the day. I don't know if he remembers it or not, but I wasn't working with him at the time. I asked to see him and just ask him some questions to help, direct my life, to get some mentorship. But I've been working with Clay for now just over a year. The role I play here is a business coach, business consultant. I work with different businesses implementing best practice processes and systems that I have learned here by working with Clay. And the experience working here has, to put it real plainly, has been just life-changing. I have not only learned new things and have gained new knowledge, but I have gained a whole new mindset that I believe wherever I end up will serve me well throughout the rest of my life. Since working with Clay, I have learned so much. I mean, I would like to say almost everything about business in terms of the different categories. I haven't learned it all, but I've learned all about marketing. I've learned about advertising. I've learned about branding. I've learned how to create a sales process for organizations in any industry. I've learned how to sell. I've learned how to create repeatable systems and processes and hold people accountable. How to hire people. It's almost like every aspect of a business you can learn. I have learned a lot in those different categories. And then, again, the mindset that I've gained here has been huge. Working here, you can't be a mediocre person. You are a call to a higher standard of excellence. And then as you're called to that standard here, you begin to see those outcomes in every area of your life. That standard of excellence that you want to implement no matter what you're involved in. I would like to describe the other people that work with Clay are people that are going somewhere with their life. Marshall in the group interview talks about how the best fits for this organization are the people that are goal-oriented. So they're on their own trajectory, and we're on our own trajectory. And the best fits are those people where there can be a mutually beneficial relationship, that as we pursue our goals and we help the business pursue those goals, the business helps us pursue our goals as well. And so I'd say people that are driven, people that want to make something of their lives, people that are goal-oriented, they're focused, and they're committed to overcoming any adversity that may come their way. Clay's passion for helping business owners grow their businesses it's unique in that I don't know if there's anyone else that can be as passionate. Whenever a business starts working with Clay, it's almost as like Clay is running that business in the sense that he has something at stake. He's just serving them. They're one of his clients, but it's as if he is actively involved in the business. Whenever they have a win, he's posting it all over his social media. He's shouting it across the room here at Thrive. He's sending people encouraging messages. He can kind of be that life coach and business coach in terms of being that a motivator and that champion for people's businesses. It's again unique because there's no one else I've seen get so excited about and passionate about other people's businesses. The kind of people that wouldn't like working with Clay are people that are satisfied with mediocrity. People that want to get through life by just doing enough, by just getting by. People who are not looking to develop themselves, people who are not coachable, people who think that they know it all and they're unwilling to change. I would say those are the type of people. In short, anyone that's content with mediocrity would not like working with Clay. So if you're meeting Clay for the first time, the advice I'd give you is definitely come ready to take tons of notes. Every time Clay speaks, he it gives you a wealth of knowledge that you don't want to miss. I remember the first time that I met Clay, I literally carried a notebook with me all around. I was looking at this notebook the other day, actually. I carried a notebook with me all around, and I just took tons of notes. I filled the entire notebook in about 3 or 4 months, just from being around Clay, following him, and learning from him. And then I would say, come coachable. Be open to learning something new. Be open to challenging yourself. Be open to learning and adjusting parts about you that need to be adjusted.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
Okay, Aaron Antis, March 6th and 7th. March 6th and 7th, guess who's coming to Tulsa, Jerusalem?
Ooh, Santa Claus?
No, that's March. March 6th and 7th,
Oh.
You're going to be joined by Robert Kiyosaki.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Probably the best-selling, or one of the best-selling business authors of all time. And he's going to be joined with Eric Trump. He'll be joined by Eric Trump. So we got Eric Trump and Robert Kiyosaki in the same place. Aaron, why should everybody show up to hear Robert Kiyosaki?
Well, you got billions of dollars of business experience between those two, not to mention many, many, many millions of books have been sold. Many, many millionaires have been made from the books that have been sold by Robert Kiyosaki. I happen to be one of them. I learned from the man. He was the inspiration. That book was the inspiration for me to get the entrepreneurial spirit, as many other people.
Now, since you won't brag on yourself, I will. You've sold billions of dollars of houses, am I correct?
That is true.
And the book that kickstarted it all for you,
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the author, the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, the guy that kickstarted your career.
Yeah,
he's going to be here.
He's going to be here. I'm pumped.
And now Eric Trump, people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. There's not 50 employees. The Trump organization, again, most people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. And while Donald J. Trump was the 45th president of these United States and soon to be the 47th president of these United States, he needed someone to run the companies for him. And so the man that runs the Trump organization for Donald J. Trump, as he was the 45th president of the United States and now the 47th president of the United States, is Eric Trump. And so Eric Trump is here to talk about time management, promoting from within, marketing, branding, quality control, sales systems, workflow design, workflow mapping, how to build. I mean, everything that you see, the Trump hotels, the Trump golf courses, all their products, the man who manages billions of dollars of real estate and thousands of employees is here to teach us how to do it.
You are talking about one of the greatest brands on the planet from a business standpoint.
Right.
I mean, who else has been able to create a brand like the Trump brand? I mean, look at it. And this is the man behind the business for the last, pretty much since 2015. He's been the man behind it. So you're talking, we're into 9 going into 10 years of him running it, and we get to tap into that knowledge. That's going to be amazing.
Now, think about this for a second. Would you buy a ticket just to see Robert Kiyosaki and Eric Trump? Of course you would.
Of course you would.
But we're also going to be joined by Sean Baker. This is the best-selling author, the guy who invented the carnivore diet.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Sean Baker. He's been on Joe Rogan multiple times. He's going to be joining us. So you've got Robert Kiyosaki, the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Eric Trump, Sean Baker. The lineup continues to grow, and this is how we do our tickets here at the Thrivetime Show. If you want to get a VIP ticket, you can absolutely do it. It's $500 for a VIP ticket. We've always done it that way. Now, if you want to take a general admission ticket, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. And the reason why I do that, and the reason why we do that is because we want to make our events affordable for everybody. I grew up without money. I totally understand what it's like to be in a tight spot. So if you want to attend, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. That's how I do it. And it's $500 for a VIP ticket. Now, we only have limited seating here. With the most people we've ever had in this building was for the Jim Brewer presentation. Jim Brewer came here, the legendary comedian Jim Brewer came to Tulsa, and we had 419 people that were here. 419 people.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, there's no more room. I felt kind of bad that a couple people had VIP seats in the men's restroom. No, I'm just kidding. But I thought, you know what? We should probably add on. So we're adding on what we call the upper deck, or the top shelf. So the seats are very close to the presenters, but we're actually building right now. We're adding on to the facility to make room to accommodate about another 30 attendees or more. So again, if you want to get tickets for this event, all you have to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. When you go to thrivetimeshow.com, you'll go there, you'll request a ticket, boom. Or if you want to text me, if you want a little bit faster service, you say, I want you to call me right now. Just text my number. It's my cell phone number, my personal cell phone number. We'll keep that private between you, me, everybody. We'll keep that private. And anybody, don't share that with anybody except for everybody. That's my private cell phone number. It's 918-851-0102. 918-851-0102. I know we have a lot of Spanish-speaking people that attend these conferences, and to be bilingually sensitive, my cell phone number is 918-851-0102.
That is not actually bilingual. That's just saying Juan for a one. It's not the same thing.
I think you're attacking me. Now, let's talk about this. Now, what kind of stuff will you learn at the Thrivetime Show workshop? So, Aaron, you've been to many of these over the past 7-8 years. So let's talk about it. I'll tee up the thing, and then you tell me what you're going to learn here, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
You're going to learn marketing and branding. What are we going to learn about marketing and branding?
Oh, yeah. We're going to dive into, so many people say, I got to get my brand known out there, like the Trump brand, right? You want to get that brand out there. It's like, how do I actually make people know what my business is and make it a household name? You're going to learn some intricacies of how you can do that.
You're going to learn sales. So many people struggle to sell something. This just in, your business will go to hell if you can't sell. So we're going to teach you sales. We're going to teach you search engine optimization, how to come up top in the search engine results. We're going to teach you how to manage people. Aaron, you have managed, no exaggeration, hundreds of people throughout your career and thousands of contractors. And most people struggle with managing people. Why does everybody have to learn how to manage people?
Well, because first of all, you either have great people or you have people who suck. And so it can be a challenge, learning how to work with a large group of people and get everybody pulling in the same direction can be a challenge. But if you have the right systems, you have the right processes, and you're really good at selecting great ones, and we have a process we teach about how to find great people. When you start with the people who have a great attitude, they're teachable, they're driven, all of those things, then, you can get those people all pulling in the same direction.
So we're going to teach you branding, marketing, sales, search engine optimization. We're going to teach you accounting. We're going to teach you personal finance, how to manage your finance. We're going to teach you time management. How do you manage your time? How do you get more done during a typical day? How do you build an organization if you're not organized? How do you do organization? How do you build an org chart? Everything that you need to know to start and grow a business will be taught during this 2-day interactive business workshop. Now, let me tell you how the format is set up here. And again, folks, this is a 2-day interactive 15. Think about this, folks. It's 2 days. Each day it starts at 7 a.m. and it goes until 5 p.m. So from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., 2 days. It's a 2-day interactive workshop. The way we do it is we do a 30-minute teaching session, and then we break for 15 minutes for a question and answer session. So, Aaron, what kind of great stuff happens during that 15-minute question and answer session after every teaching session?
I actually think it's the best part about the workshops, because here's what happens. I've been to lots of these things over the years. I've paid many thousands of dollars to go to them. And you go in there and they talk in vague generalities, and they're constantly upselling you for something, trying to get you to buy this thing or that thing or this program or this membership. And you leave not getting your very specific questions answered about your business or your employees or what you're doing on your marketing. And what's awesome about this is we literally answer every single question that any person asks, and it's very specific to what your business is.
And what we do is we allow you as the attendee to write your questions on the whiteboard. And then we literally, as you mentioned, we answer every single question on the whiteboard. And then we take a 15-minute break to stretch and to make it entertaining when you're stretching. This is a true story. When you get up and stretch, you'll be greeted by mariachis. There's going to probably be alpaca here, llamas, helicopter rides, a coffee bar, a snow cone. There's just...
You had a crocodile one time. That was pretty interesting.
I should write that down and actually do that.
Sorry for that one guy that we lost.
The crocodile, we duct taped its face so that we duct taped.
No, it was a baby crocodile.
And it was duct tape.
Yeah, duct tape around the mouth so it didn't bite anybody. But it was really cool passing that thing around and petting it.
I should do that. We have a small petting zoo that will be assembled. It's going to be great. And then you're in the company of hundreds of entrepreneurs. So there's not a lot of people in America today. In fact, there's less than 10 million people today, according to U.S. Debt Clock, that identify as being self-employed. So if you have a country with 350 million people, That means you have less than 3% of our population that's even self-employed. Yeah. So you only have 3 out of every 100 people in America that are self-employed to begin with. And when Inc. magazine reports that 96% of businesses fail by default, you have a 1 out of 1,000 chance of succeeding in the game of business. But yet the average client that you and I work with, we can typically double this. And this is no hyperbole, no exaggeration. And I have thousands of testimonials to back this up. We have thousands of testimonials to back it up. But when you work with a home builder, when I work with a business owner, we can typically double the size of the company within 24 months.
Yeah.
Double. And you say double? Yeah, there's businesses that we have tripled. There's businesses we've grown 8x. There's so many examples you can see at thrivetimeshow.com. But again, this is the most interactive, best business workshop on the planet. This is objectively the highest rated and most reviewed business workshop on the planet. And then you add to that Robert Kiyosaki, the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You add to that Eric Trump, the man that runs the Trump Organization. You add to that Sean Baker. Now you might say, but Clay, is there more? I need more. Well, okay, Tom Wheelwright is the wealth strategist for Robert Kiyosaki. So people say, Robert Kiyosaki, who's his financial wealth advisor? Who's the guy who manages, who's his wealth strategist? His wealth strategist, Tom Wheelwright, will be here. And you say, Clay, I'm not going to get a ticket unless you give me more. Okay, fine. We're going to serve you the same meal both days. True story. We cater in the food, and because I keep it simple, I literally bring in the same food both days for lunch. It's Ted Escondido's, an incredible Mexican restaurant. That's going to happen. And Jill Donovan, our good friend, who is the founder of Rustic Cuff. She started that company in her home, and now she sells millions of dollars of apparel and products. That's rusticcuff.com. And someone says, I want more. This is not enough.
Give me more.
Okay. I'm not going to mention their names right now because I'm working on it behind the scenes here. But we've got one guy who's given me a verbal to be here. And this is a guy who's one of the wealthiest people in Oklahoma, and nobody really knows who he is because he's built systems that are very utilitarian, that offer a lot of value. He's made a lot of money in it's where you rent. It's short term. It's where you're renting storage spaces. He's a storage space guy. He owns what do you call that? The rental,
storage space.
Storage units. This guy owns storage units. He owns railroad cars. He owns a lot of assets that make money on a daily basis, but they're not like customer facing. Most people don't know who owns the mini storage facility, or most people don't know who owns the warehouse that's passively making money. Most people don't know who owns the railroad cars, but this guy, he's given me a verbal that he will be here, and we just continue to add more and more success stories. So if you're out there today and you want to change your life, you want to give yourself an incredible gift, you want a life-changing experience, you want to learn how to start and grow a company, go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go there right now, thrivetimeshow.com. Request a ticket for the 2-day interactive event. Again, the day here is March 6th and 7th. March 6th and 7th, we just got confirmation. Robert Kiyosaki, best-selling author, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he'll be here. Eric Trump, the man who leads the Trump Organization. It's going to be a blasty blast. There's no upsells. Aaron, I could not be more excited about this event.
I think it is incredible. And there's somebody out there right now, you're watching and you're like, but I already signed up for this incredible other program called Smoke Your Way to Thin. You think that's going to change your life? I promise you this will be 10 times better than that.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Don't do the Smoke Your Way to Thin conference. I've tried it. Don't do it.
Yeah, chain smoking is not a viable. I mean, it is life-changing. It is life-changing. If you become a chain smoker, it is life-changing.
Not the best weight loss program, though.
Right. Really. So if you're looking to have life-changing results in a way that won't cause you to have a stoma, get your tickets at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's Aaron Antis. I'm Clay Clark, and reminding you and inviting you to come out to the 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show workshop right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I promise you it will be a life-changing experience. We can't wait to see you right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.